I am Crego, presenting this piece called The Fifth Wall, and it's based on the old concept of the fourth wall, that this was a virtual world that existed in the theater and in the cinemas. The fifth wall is like the new wall that exists nowadays between the spectator and the internet, and it's a kind of metaphor about this digital world where the light is the dictator, and it's like a landscape of noise where a lot of little people is hypnotized looking at little screens across the piece. It was a guy that starts looking at the background but ends looking at the spectator. It's like trying to break the fifth wall. And also it's a kind of metaphor about the Plato cavern myth. The internet is a kind of cavern too, and this, in the same way that offers us freedom and new possibilities, is also a kind of jail that we are all trapped inside. I think it was about May 2021. Knut was the first platform I was, and just after I moved to Object, but in Tezos since then I'm still there, yeah. GIF art and loops and black and white that I call black and light, because in the digital realm, even blacks are light. GIFs, loops and lights will be our best summary. When I was younger, about 14, 15, one of my favorite video games was Photoshop. It was a kind of playing with the software without not really knowing that I was doing art. So I will say since my 18, 19th, I started to focus on photography and video. It was about 22, 23 that I started to focus strictly on digital art. The when was, I think it was mid-May of 2021. And the why, I think, is because I started previously in Ethereum in 2018, 2019, and I was started to feel that in Ethereum everything was biased and conditioned by money. When Tezos appeared, I felt more like a free space. Today I focus mainly on Tezos because it's where I found my house. Let's say that about selling the obvious, no, the chance for finally, and not to do only digital art, but to be able to live from it. Since I start to sell my work, it's a good memory, because it's like, okay, I am translating light into money so I can pay my food with light. And about collecting, one of my favorite memories is one day that I collected a guy that is called Barul Marta. He's a painter from Indonesia. He called me and he told me that with collecting his work, I was paying his rent for 2 months. He made me understand something very important, is that sometimes we forget that the value of money is different depending on which part of the world we are. So I realized that art can be a way of making others have better life too. One guy is a Turkish guy that is called Eritrik, and he creates a kind of, from my point of view, a very metaphorical, a very high quality sound design, micro-narrative. Later I will say is a girl that I knew from Tumblr times, from 2012, 2014, that is called Anax Manila. She uses a lot of collage with paper. She breaks the paper and she creates GIFs from this. The favorite thing about Tezos community is actually the thing that made me focus on Tezos. In Tezos, I feel it's more like a street art, where the art is the main point. So this creates a bigger sense of culture. People can experiment a lot. They don't have to apply to platforms. It's like more a sandbox. And I love that because people is more open, that more people arrive. So Tezos is like more like a garden where a lot of children are playing and a lot of support between each other. The sum of every little ant is making a huge movement.